Welcome back to Dota 2 Asian Championships. This is group stage day 3, and we're about to see a clash of Chinese titans. It's going to be IG versus EHOME. We talked about that a little bit in the pre-show. The players are almost ready. The lobby is still up.
No,
we're actually in the draft. That's excellent. We talked about. I don't know. There's only one screen, and I couldn't see
Blame him.
Someone was checking Twitch chat.
This guy.
Ben was.
Yeah,
syndereN's obsessed.
I
You
think it
tabbed
was
out. I
Suns.
didn't tab out.
You're
Did I?
obsessed.
Yeah, you're obsessed.
So
Suns fan did it.
This is gonna be a good cast.
We're
No,
gonna be fighting
you're
the whole
obsessed.
cast. That's all we're gonna do.
without further
Let's
ado,
do it.
I don't know what ado is. I think it's
Delay.
It's
sport.
kind of an older word.
Ado, 2 do's, 3 do's. I don't know. Let's go into the draft.
Sounds good. Let's get out of this.
EHOME decides to ban the Morphling
wow,
first.
okay. This
There's
is,
Chen out there. There's Shadowfiend out there. There's no Lycan and Batrider. Now, IG's bans I can get behind. EHOME's
Wait,
bans.
who did you bet on?
EHOME.
Okay.
Or better on.
Just checking if you're biased or not.
No.
Why the Morphling ban?
I don't understand.
Oh yeah, you're right. Wow.
I mean, Ferrari's Morphling is scary, but so is Ferrari's Ember.
He plays a lot of things. He plays so many different heroes that I don't really think that a first phase ban on one of his is.
Brian,
We'll see.
when you have time, can you give me stats on Ember Spirit this tournament? Thank you.
I think that is Ember. No, that might not actually be that
I
contested.
think
of a hero
Ember is
for this
pretty
one.
good against Chen. Just win
Mushi's
rate.
Ember is not as good as Ferrari's Ember.
No, but then again, whose Ember is really?
But why Morphling? That is
Arteezy's.
the biggest question mark.
I think Ferrari has played Morphling a couple of times in this tournament. I think they won all the games and he owned, so they might have just.
I don't think Chen was banned last game. Now that I think about it.
No,
it
No.
wasn't.
it wasn't.
That's
But the thing
insane.
is, like, since they picked Wisp, Secret was not gonna pick it,
Mm.
and since they were playing against Wisp, EHOME wasn't gonna pick it.
Can't say wisp. Whips.
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 Can't say whips.
First.
Wow,
pick
Tide
Tide.
Hunter. Old school. I like this. Although
This
he has
is-
been nerfed.
This is IG and LGD both
Yes.
kind of do this a lot still. First picking the Tide. It's kind of a, in a way, it's a very, it's an opener that gives quite a lot of information away because he's like almost exclusively played offlane these days. You don't really see him put on support. You don't really jungle him because that's not that good. You can safe lane it if you're on an aggressive try, and that doesn't really happen though. So
He's not good versus Jug, which is I think one of the big problems with him this patch.
that is true.
Yeah, that is true.
Might see EHOME grab that. They grabbed it last game. Didn't work too well though. I honestly feel like Juggernaut's been fairly underwhelming this tournament compared to what I was expecting.
Here
They're
comes
still gonna
Juggernaut.
get it, but I feel like the general problem is that the Juggernauts don't get enough farm.
The Tie Hunt or the
The Juggernauts.
Okay, the Juggernauts.
The only time I remember seeing a very farmed Juggernaut was Black for Vici Gaming.
Yep.
Who got a lot of farm, but apart from that,
Ooh.
it's really
Dang.
the Juggernauts are. I think ZSMJ also had
Yeah.
a very farmed Juggernaut game, but
Question for you: we see a Disruptor here, but we see a Disruptor before anything.
It's good versus Tide.
It's okay versus Tie. I guess it's good. Yeah.
I think
it's
they
a
have
big
a
silence.
bigger plan, else they would have picked Disruptor
yeah.
second.
I don't know. I think it's a nice flexible support. I don't really think Disruptor is one of those heroes that it's like it has to be. It's good versus certain heroes, but it's also good versus a lot of heroes. Glimpse is amazing. He's decent at zoning out with Thunderstrike. Kinetic Field's really strong. It pretty much forces the opponents to get BKB on their cores. It's
The
you know,
reason
it's
I
pretty
was
good.
mentioning that was because Disruptor is by far the worst pick of the tournament.
mm-hmm.
He's 1-4 in 5 games.
Come on, 5 games.
5 games.
And Newbie picked it 4 of those times.
Well, if the TI4 champion is losing with him, maybe the
No,
problem is not
actually,
the TI4
the funny thing
champion.
is, Newbie was the team that won with it because we cast that game. They won with Disruptor.
Really?
So the one win
The one
Disruptor
win.
has is actually Newbie.
Versus MVP. No, versus no,
Tongfu.
versus Tongfu. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So that's kind of funny. Oh, Legion Commander's own.
Oh yeah, but
So,
it's
that's
not 5 games. It doesn't
Regardless, it's it hasn't
Yes,
been
that
doing too
fifth
well.
game makes it so important.
The thing that makes me say that this is a little bit weird of a second pick is that especially the Chinese teams generally prioritize is the Lion that they
Mhm.
get as the second pick support usually. So for me, if EHOME takes the Disruptor at this point, it's either because they don't have that much faith in their Lion or because they think Disruptor is just that much better against Tide plus whatever they were expecting next. And which is, by the way, the Axe, of course. I don't know if Would you say Disruptor is good against Axe? I feel like with Axe it's about getting the blink call, and then if you get glimpsed out,
You're
after
already
that,
disabled.
You've still already done a lot of work, I would say.
I would say it's decent. He
It's
has a lot of
okay.
he has a lot of magic damage to deal with him, and on top of that, I think dropping
The Static Storm is generally better.
is more important than glimpsing him out. Yeah. I think the Static Storm is really, really good, and actually maybe even a little underrated.
When are we going to see Core Disruptor again? That makes me so sad.
No.
When he gets buffed for
They
that role, unfortunately.
Does he
Yeah.
really need to get that buffed?
Maybe he
Not
needs
that
a slightly
much.
better Acceptor. His
His
Acceptor-
Acceptor is
His
amazing.
Axe
His,
is
his
really
axe
good.
is amazing.
Well, he's clearly not enough to have.
I think
a
it's
team.
Thunderstrike. needs
If
to
it
buff
really was
that low.
amazing,
Yeah, I agree.
people would run Core Disruptor and rush Acceptor.
Yeah, but it's not that amazing because you can BKB preemptively,
Mm-hmm.
which is the main reason. It's amazing as far as, but there are more amazing things like AA Ultimate Ags.
If you want
Right.
Disruptor mid, just make Static Field or Static Storm remove BKB, as in addition to.
Remove BKB. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
That would be a first pick, maybe even.
What if he gets silenced on BKB? Doesn't take damage, but still gets silenced.
So like global?
Yeah.
I think that
That'd still be pretty good.
that would be really good still, but maybe not completely broken.
Okay, with the Dusa
Hmm.
and the Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor, I feel like is pretty good versus Tidehunter and Axe as well. It's a nice defensive support and offensive.
Yeah.
Synergized well with Juggernaut and double healing, but then they have to deal with a big bad Dusa, which you usually don't see picked this early, but recently yes.
But Dusa does very well against all these heroes, I think.
Yeah, he does.
I
For
mean,
sure.
Maledict suddenly is tickles. Juggernaut, she can tank and Omni Slash and then kill the Juggernaut by herself. Disruptor is food for Medusa. I think IG has a better core lineup.
What do you think are the best heroes against Medusa? Just mana drainers?
Anti-mage.
Yeah.
The
OD,
fact that
OD with
Lion-
Axe.
OD with
Oh,
Axe.
that's
OD
true.
with Axe is so sick.
Nyx Assassin.
Next
Next
Assassin's really good.
Pugna?
Diffusal illusion carriers are pretty good. I think Naga's decent.
Lion's pretty good too. Not only the mana drain, but can take out the illusions pretty good. But the fact that they've already had 2 supports, unless Disruptor is a core, or we could see the Witch Doctor mid that we've been wanting.
Is Lion good against Medusa because
I don't
can
think so because
hex mana drain?
it's too long range. I think
Really?
he dies so easily. I think it's decent
Okay.
as far as supports go. It's not like you need Lion plus something
Right,
else. You
right.
can't just get a Lion.
I mean, it's not going to happen because we already have the 2 supports. Something interesting about IG is that they picked the 3 cores, so now suddenly they only have supports left, which means that EHOME.
Bans.
No, of course they can ban 1 support, but they can play around. They have all the information they need right now because they know the 3 cores. They can build their last 2 picks based on the 2 cores. Support for IG are not going to be so impactful because they don't have that information. Here comes the Nyx Assassin. Hold it.
You have to have a Medusa counter. I think it's silly. Like you either like push and end the game early, or you have someone that counters her almost all throughout the game. And I think Nyx is one of the better heroes at that.
Yeah, if they especially when you play Nyx core, I think he fits that role way better than support that he was usually played in the
Yeah.
past. Because getting high levels on mana burn is what really matters. It's not so much the scaling of the ability that you get the 5 times multiplier instead of 3.5. It's more that the cooldown so insanely low that you can cast it like 3 or 4 or 5 times on a Medusa in a fight. Now you can't.
Now you can't.
That's a problem. Juggernaut is a natural diffusal carrier though, I would say. So
They might need another one.
diffusal's like
What do you guys
double
think?
nice now.
what
You
do you
remove
think
repel
about-
and you counter
What do you think
Medusa.
about Naga versus, and not maybe not Naga against Omni Knight, but like we were talking about the similarities between Medusa's ult and Song of Siren. Song just resets that, essentially cancels it out.
I think Naga's
in a
really
lot of
good
ways.
here, but I just don't think EHOME can fit into their lineup. I don't think they're Naga players.
Question is, who do you put mid? Because IG is clearly going to put Axe mid. Medusa safe and tied off.
You think?
They couldn't move Medusa.
I think Medusa's mid.
Medusa's
Yeah.
mid.
She's
and
been mid in
Axe-
every
Yeah.
single game has been picked this tournament or so. Maybe apart from one.
So you would put like Axe safe and Hunter offlane?
I still don't think Invictus Gaming's lanes are given. I think they could jungle Axe.
They could do Axe Omni off. You don't know what what they'll do.
Did they do Axe Omni duel? Someone did that in this tournament already.
And there's the OD ban.
Okay.
I don't think so. The only time I've seen X Omni pick together was Cloud9, and that did not
Oh
go
yeah,
well.
yeah, that was the game. That was the game.
But for IG, I think the opening for EHOME now with this Omni Knight pick is that IG's lanes are going to be trash. I think almost no matter what they last pick, there's definitely potential for EHOME to take advantage of it with an aggressive tri lane or even just good dual lane setups.
Can EHOME fight with these 4 heroes good enough so that they can have a Terrorblade split pushing?
I don't think Terrorblade fares well versus Dusa in the later game. Like the Omni Knight will just shut it down really easily.
Yeah.
I would like it. I think Naga's far better. It's just that we rarely see Mushi play Naga. I think they might go for more.
He doesn't like micro heroes.
Sponsored by iPhone.
He might play like a more aggressive hero. I would like to see like a quad for him, possibly. Like get an early Orchid, try and just burst down the Omni and ignore the other heroes. I think that'd be like decent for them. Or they might just go more late game. Like you're trying to late game versus Dusa and an Omni. Another diffusal carrier would also be nice.
TA.
That's okay too, I think. She's
Really?
obviously
I think it's really rough here.
She's bad against Omni Knight's ultimate, but yeah.
She's not great against.
What's the counter argument?
Okay, so
I
she's
don't
bad
see-
against Omni Knight's ultimate, but I think Juggernaut will be getting the diffusal. Like they will be getting a diffusal blade this game. TA in theory can also get it, but I think it's way better to put on the Jug and safe lane him so he gets it fast.
Since it's not a north
And
effect anymore, TA can get a
She
diffuser.
can do it, but you generally want to be a little bit more.
They might not
ambitious with
need
her.
one. They can just do Roach early, and I think it's just 5-man very early on and try to end the game.
Yeah.
I think Jug and Templar Assassin are actually really good tower siegers.
Shadow Shaman, that's something that we haven't seen in a while.
I think EHOME can really punish IG if they run an aggressive tri lane.
IG, they cannot run aggressive try. They
No,
might do
E-
aggressive duel.
EHOME can
Oh,
do an
EHOME can
aggressive tri lane.
aggressive?
Yeah.
You put Templar mid, you
Yeah.
put Juggernaut safe. Juggernaut's going to be okay against Tide. He does all right. It's not perfect, but it should be okay.
I think they
because of
can
blade
just
veering.
sack an Axe or a Tide, though.
If they run an aggressive try, though,
They can't. They definitely can't
Oh.
fight 3-on-3. I just don't think that they can really get that many kills. If they play
how are
defensively.
IG laning though? It's an off lane.
It's
Which
mid
one is off?
Ferrari.
I think they're safe laning Axe actually. So if they do that, if they do safe lane Axe, then
I don't
maybe
think
you don't aggressive.
Tide can't stay alive versus Disruptor, though. Like I don't think.
Disruptor Jug is really good against
Yeah,
Tide.
I don't think he'll be able to
Yeah.
get that much experience.
I think you're right. The best is dual lanes.
Best
on
of dual
second
lanes.
thought.
I would say like Axe plus Omni and then
Jugger Disruptor top, and then
Shadow.
are we talking the same team? Jugger Disruptor top for EHOME, and then bottom Witch Doctor Nyx. I think is very good. A very good way of dealing with this problem.
Okay. So
We're gonna see.
the insightful cast
The Analytic cast.
is the
opposite
analytic cast.
of the
I
Zyari
hate that
Sunswing.
word.
Yeah, the Merlinderan cast.
I like that more.
Look at that
S-
Nyx. Holy
Sindini.
jeez.
Sindini, Merlinderan.
Sounds a little like Houdini.
Look at that Nyx is floating across.
Nice.
Guys, I'm gonna leave you. It's all yours. Have fun. Sanswan and
I
I.
said about the casting of fights, guys. Both of you. I want to hear it.
Thank you, good sirs.
Enthusiasm.
We'll take it away. All right. So
He
first,
made it sound like he was my employer or something. This guy.
is he?
No.
We have the Nyx Assassin scooting along in the bottom lane, hiding in the trees. Ohio on the Nyx Assassin. The other 4 members, we have DDC on the Disruptor, Mushi on the mid TA, Inflame on the support Witch Doctor, and all the way in the top lane by himself, we have Yang on the Juggernaut. With that nice set,
Oh yeah, that's nice. That's true. IG Ferrari 430 looks like it is indeed going to be a mid Medusa. June will be playing as Axe. Chizbug onto Omni Knight. Chuan will be playing Shadow Shaman, and that leaves Luo on the Tide. And these lanes looks like IG will offlane the Axe and play the Tide safe lane together.
Axe Omni
with-
is way better,
Oh
I
boy,
think.
this is probably first blood. He's in trouble.
Coconuts come out, and there's an Impale, and there he goes. Blocks from Inflame, and DDC will get the first blood. So it looks like it will be a solo Juggernaut. I don't really think he can actually solo versus an Axe.
No.
He can't farm well, that is.
I'm assuming EHOME move their lanes around a little bit. I think they do 2-1-2 as well. But even if they do that, the Axe is going to be a big problem. I want to say no matter which dual lane EHOME puts top, they probably struggle a bit against this Axe Omni. I think that was a pretty good call from them. Whereas, well, then in the bottom lane, Tide, Shadow Shaman, how good are they really going to be against Nyx Witch Doc when they get a couple of levels? They got the first blood advantage. Shadow Shaman, however, did start with boots, so he's going to be a little difficult to go on. So maybe that's a fairly even lane. And then finally in the mid lane, TA. TA versus Dusa is a lane that I would on paper say TA should win. I saw it played yesterday, and it was dead even, pretty much. I don't know if you agree.
Well, with Refraction costing 100 mana now, I think that matchup is...
Yeah, you can drain it with a snake.
Yeah, you can train it decently. I mean, you don't really ever have kill potential on the TA, whereas TA sometimes has kill potential with Ferrari, especially with like a DD or a haste. So I don't think it's that big of a deal.
This is, by the way, a Mushi TA, probably the hero he's absolutely most famous for from Dota 1. He was extremely good on this hero, kind of pioneered playing it very well in competitive play. Very aggressive. Was the first player I think we really saw to use refraction to the maximum potential in a lot of games. So he is definitely, he knows what he's doing on this hero. But as it seemed we weren't really completely sure how good TA was going to be because Omni Knight is good. I think a hero like Tide will often land the Anchor Smash on TA. She has to come in very close. And X, if he catches her with call, it's a long time. She's going to be laying physical damage into a guy that doesn't take any. So it's a tricky game. I think Mushi can do well, but if he falls behind, this is going to be a very steep recovery curve.
I think getting the Roshan, though, is
Impale. That's all he's going to hit, basically. Oh, yes, Orb of Venom. Hang on, Ohio is going to keep going. He's probably a little disappointed that Inflame gave up on that. Maybe they could have made that kill, but without boots on Witch Dock, he probably doesn't catch up.
2-minute rune will go to EHOME on both sides. Mushi with the bounty on top, Inflame with the Invis on the bottom lane. Can they get a kill on Medusa? She does have 1 point in Mana Shield. This is going to be a very difficult one.
Yeah, she has 2 now as well. They cannot kill this with these heroes.
You know, Mushi actually skilled Meld level 1.
He skilled level 1.
Yep, he skilled Meld level 1 and no side blades.
Just to dodge the Mystic Snake, but I think he failed that actually. I think he did get hit by it the first time, but this is the apart from skilling Meld level 1, this is of course the standard TA build: refraction over Meld over side blades, which you get 1
Can you
value
dodge
point.
Mystic Snake? I don't think you can.
With Meld?
I don't think you can.
If you Meld before it starts rushing, before it starts targeting you, right?
Oh, yeah. But what if he just casts on Mushi?
Yeah, then it's not that powerful if he's the first target. But yeah, that's true. If he targets Mushi, I think it's a guaranteed hit. That's true.
Well, looking at the other lanes, looks like Axe is slightly getting the better of Juggernaut on top, almost doubling up his CS. Mushi is losing out slightly on the mid lane. Now he has side blades, though, can maybe put a little pressure on Ferrari, but Ferrari is full HP and full mana, not really feeling any sort of threat there.
I'm just surprised. Once again, just theoretically looking at the matchup, I'm surprised that the Medusa is getting as many CS as she is. He has 68 damage to the now 106 of TA, who of course does need to level up refraction first and doesn't have that much mana, but if she's getting every single rune as well, which Mushi will do, he's just going to keep getting the runes. Still, Ferrari is out-farming him. He's just flat out beating Mushi in lane, which is not that common when Mushi plays TA.
Yeah, I think it's really important for EHOME to do Roche and take advantage early. Like a bad Ravage can lead to like a T2 and then some in the mid game. So even if the lanes don't go too well for EHOME, the big bad Rock Man is where it's at. We have Watermelon Man. There's Rock Man. What other men are there? Snake Woman. What's Omni Knight?
Holy
no
man.
idea. Holy Man. Axe's big red man.
Bright man. Light man. I don't know. You're making me think of Mega Man now. Oh, here we go. Luo is going to get maledicted as well as impaled. They're going to keep laying into him. I think this might be enough on the third tick. I am actually fairly convinced. Well, he's going to salve. That's going to be enough. Just barely staying alive. Very nice. As at the same time, Axe will be finding a kill on the Juggernaut, combining with the Omni Knight. That is pretty bad news for EHOME. They're already losing this lane. They missed their kill bottom, and June is now going to be level 5 with very fast access to Blink or Vanguard.
The Axe call and the heal is ridiculously strong. It's a lot of non-magic damage, which is, very important versus Juggernaut to have different sources.
However, if he's spinning when he gets called, he will just ignore the heal, obviously, but needs to predict it. It's very difficult sometimes to be on time with it, of course. Berserker's Call doesn't really have the longest cast point, so it's fairly easy to land that without getting responded.
But it's very easy for June. Axe, I think, just dominates one-on-one melee on melee matchups. It's so incredibly easy.
Is there even any melee that beats Axe? Any melee?
I think Ursa.
Darkseer? Ursa maybe?
Ursa maybe, Darkseer. Yeah, the unusual ones.
Yeah, the classic melee heroes that can... Oh, wait, bottom lane. We're going to get a lot of damage onto Luo. They're going to be trying again with the same play. This time around, they will get him. He does not have any regen available. He's going to die to the third Maledict tick. I think the last one should pop him. Yes. Yes. That was really close.
Don't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Mushi is gonna get a regen rune. So what I was getting at is the melee heroes that are a little bit different than the norm when it comes to one-on-one matchups. So generally, Brood and Darkseer can win matchups that melee heroes usually lose, but Brood, for example, gets crushed by Axe. So
0-4-4, dude.
still gets crushed by Axe, I think. He should. He can do better with that build, but I still don't think. Have you seen a Brood win against an Axe ever?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Padrino.
Oh man, Padrino, that guy.
He is a Brood player. Oh, looks like they're trying to initiate, but Ohio is getting a lot of farm on this bottom lane. 25 CS on offlane Nyx is really darn good, and he's going to have Bottle and Arcanes very, very soon. And I think it's just really bad for the supports to having to fear a Nyx this early into the game. He's almost level 6 and a really squishy hero like Shadow Shaman.
What do you think about him not skilling Mana Burn at all? I'm a little bit surprised that the second point in Carapace compared to the kill potential of the Mana Burn in this lane?
People like the second point in Carapace because it sets up for the Impale. Like, one point isn't enough to set
He already
up for
has
Impale.
Cask to set up for Impale in the lane, though. That's the thing. That's how they've gone for the previous... I think maybe the way they went for the previous kills was he just landed a point-blank Impale, pretty much, because Tide is fairly easy to hit. He's going to walk into Anchor Smash and you just Impale him. I think they might try for it again. It looks fairly likely that they try for this engage. They will do it. There's the Cask into the stun. Follow up again. Fairly decent damage. I don't know if it's going to be enough this time around, though. Luo has a stick. He has Bottle. Oh, well, they're going to keep pursuing him. He's starting to bottle up now. He will barely live.
Man, that Aura Venom. That Aura Venom is actually doing a lot of work in that lane.
Yeah, it's really nice. I don't think I've seen that before in Nyx, but it makes a lot of sense. Usually Nyx's problem is that you land the stun and then you can't really pursue.
Well,
it's
also really good versus Tidehunter because he's going to be anger smashing you all the time.
Yep.
So Aura Venom actually pretty good versus that. Well, we also see a little bit of rotation from the
Ferrari
top.
In the mid lane at the same time. We'll be using Stone Gaze. Mushi's going to start hitting CH. I don't think he can pursue this one. Okay, Mushi thinks otherwise. Going to use his haste. And now he thinks the same. Nope, never mind. Maybe. Yes, no, maybe. He's currently running around the trees. We'll be going in on Chizbug again. He does not have mana for purification. Ferrari trying to block him. See, this is a dive right there. That's how you dive. TA with haste is just... Is there a better hero to have haste on 8 minutes in, apart from Bat Rider?
Night Stalker.
Night Stalker with haste? Well, 8 minutes in, it's day, I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
TA's pretty darn good. TA's scary. And that was a very nice play. He hit him right before the purification cooldown. Nice aggressive play.
Oh, the Maledict misses. A little bit of a misplay from Inflame. That would have been a kill. Ohio is currently level 6, so he could have followed up with a Vendetta, and Luo would have definitely been dead. So, gets lucky there, the Tidehunter.
Man. Chizbug. Well, see a smoke from June. He has a blink. It is 9 minutes in with Tranquils and blink. 2-0-0. The offlane treating him very well here. Perhaps trying to look for a kill on Mushi, but Mushi is nowhere to be found. He will TP onto the T2. Instead, will perhaps look for a kill on Ohio in the bottom lane. They do have a sentry ward set up, but no vision yet.
In EHOME, they did manage to get the kill on the Shadow Shaman. Actually, almost the Tide as well with their initiation there. Here comes June, though. He's going to get the call onto Ohio. And this should be a dunk. Maybe not. Maybe yes. Well, he's currently running in circles around them almost. And will be trying to dive in behind the tower.
You will
Vendetta
not dunk me.
Oh, actually, no, they won't.
I guess they don't have to waste a man on
the
that.
Tower.
What? I guess you just maybe tank the dunk there. I don't know. Easy burn, 60 mana.
Yeah, well, I think it's better to waste 5 seconds of their time than taking the dunk.
Mushi.
Will he? Oh.
Oh, no.
That's unfortunate, says Ferrari. No one gets the rune. And, well, this mid lane is evened out. They're pretty much dead even. Slight net worth lead. Uh-oh, Yang actually going to get called up top. This one is going to be a dunk. Chuan gets the shackles from the fog. In comes Jun with a TP. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Mushi being stone-gazed, and Inflame, who wanted to get in and try for this kill, might be on the receiving end as it looks. Very nice TP, though. Almost gets out. We're talking 10th of a second before he gets out of that one.
Yeah, that was real close. My main worry if I'm EHOME right now is Juggernaut. Juggernaut's not getting really any farm. I guess he has Phase and Morbid Mask, but Axe just controlling him in lane. As soon as he gets his blink, he gets another kill on Juggernaut. Like, it's just rough wave after rough streak for him, man. I don't know what he's going to do. How's he going to catch up?
And it seems like it kind of has been the story for Juggernaut in the tournament so far. Just not really getting enough farm. Which, I mean, he has 45 CS in the safe lane, which isn't all that bad, but when you die twice for it because of the matchup, I want to say it counts like having 30, roughly. just the relative difference.
June smoked up once again. Chuan attacks it, and it will break the smoke. So I think EHOME knows this and will play rather defensively. Everyone huddling back to their towers, aside from Ohio.
Yeah, they're generally just in really defensive
I think
position.
they walk through a trap on top. They know that someone's here.
And DDC, we'll maybe see the Omni Knight dropping that ward. He tried to drop it from the fog, so maybe didn't detect that. Another ward being dropped by Chuan. They're getting some decent vision into the dire woods as the Vendetta and smoked up Nyx, who moves very fast until the smoke, of course, breaks, and then Vendetta is still going, though.
They want to kill the Omni Knight, but
Yeah.
I think they might have to settle for June. Unless they stand right on top of each other.
Oh, there's the opening. We'll get the Impale as well. Do they have what it takes to burst CH down? Yes, they do. June will get cast as well. This is a very nice death ward, completely locked in place. Kinetic field as well, and they get two right after IG. They got the superior vision into the dire jungle, but you know what? That was the perfect time for a smoke.
That was terrible positioning by Omni Knight. He should never be standing that close to the X. Like that just cannot happen for him.
Yeah, he does end up being killed off first, and then suddenly June is exposed. This is going to be a tier 1 tower top. They're going to concede as well for this, while Ferrari will just be farming in the mid lane against Mushi. 1-on-1, and Tide is doing what he can bottom. June getting, or sorry, not June, Luo doing a bit of pushing on the tier 1 tower. Not quite sure how much he managed to get there, but there's the tower. Juggernaut getting the last hit, I think, is the biggest of deals here. He needs to find a way of getting somewhat back into this. And I'm saying that as he has 62 CS, but the 2 deaths were really, they really hurt.
Oh no, Vendetta up.
Oh,
again.
he gets spotted. He walks one step too close. Then he just rage Vendetta's a creep. Fuck this.
You usually see 1 point in degen for Omni Knights. I guess he might not need it here. He doesn't really want to be in melee range, get hit by TA, get smacked by Jug, get stunned by Nyx, walk in range of Cask, Static Storm. A lot of bad things to walk into.
I personally like the support Omni Knight without degen more, because like you said, when it comes to positioning, your goal is to be away from the fight always.
It's really good for zoning though.
Yeah, it is. If you're ahead in the fight and you could get Omni Knight in, that's great. As nice deny coming out from Mushi with the double damage rune. Might be able to glimpse, no? What level is glimpse on the disruptor? He has level 3. Oh, he used it already, so that's why. Else they might have gone for kill there. Do get the deny. They farm up some mass serpent wards as well, so in terms of gold, an even trade, but of course the map control easily favoring IG for getting the tower.
But what can they really do with the map control? They can't really contest Ancients. I don't think they can contest Roche either at this point.
Both Axe and Tide are really good in the Roche pit, though. I think it's possible, but they need vision in the area. They have one ward, but if EHOME's smoke in there with... That's one of the other strengths of TA, is how little help she needs on Roche. We see these lineups that need to like 5-man or 4-man Roche. TA +1 can do it. TA and Juggernaut, or Juggernaut solo even, which I also don't think we've seen in this tournament. He's really good at soloing Roche. You just put the healing ward down, you have a Quelling Blade, which he does have, and then you go and punch him in the face. And
teams have been really good about scouting it out, though.
Yeah.
It's a lot more evident now as to when he's going to be doing it.
I think Ferrari is going to go for a first item Skadi. That's what we've generally seen Medusas do in the previous games. Has the ultimate orb. It could be a Manta. I don't think Manta is any good here, though. Plenty of AoE damage to get rid of it. He can't really remove anything, can't purge anything off with it. You can't remove Maledict.
You can remove Meld.
You could dodge the Meld Strike if you're a player.
You can dodge Meld Strike. You can tank Omni. You can get cast.
It's good against Omni Slash.
You can get cast more.
Oh, June. He really wanted to go in. He ends up being gone. Oh, nice Omni heal coming out, though. And he gets 2 luck. He spins right in a row. June might be able to get a double if he can catch up to Nyx Assassin. Don't think he will, though. The healing ward keeping him nice and safe. And there comes the glimpse. Wow, that Omni heal was clutch. And then the 2 spins right on top of the Juggernaut.
Mushi trying to push bottom by his lonesome. Chuan will almost ward trap him.
I don't think they need the trap, though. It's 4-on-1. He's dead. My prediction is he's dead. I was right.
You get -1 point for that.
Do you think they needed the Mass Serpent Wards for that kill?
No. But if he gets a trap, they don't need the TPs.
That's true. So then it's what you prefer, 2 TPs or ward, Serpent Ward usage. I think the TPs are less valuable than the Serpent Wards, though. Oh, they do get the stun on time. They don't have Storm, though. He's going to be fine. He can just repel or run. No glimpse. Ferrari. Going to keep pushing out and farming the bot lane. He's currently on top of the last hit chart and also the net worth by about a few hundred over the TA because TA just got killed. And this one looks like it could become a really even game, I think. If we look forward into, let's say, in 15 minutes, and the game is still even. Do you think there's a clear favorite going late? The one team only has one real late game core in Medusa, whereas the other one has Juggernaut and TA. How important do you think Nyx is going to be in late game? Because the mana burn's just so good.
It would be really good, except they have an Omni Knight. I think it's kind of like the same story as last game. You have to kill the supports. Like, if you don't kill Wiz, Tiny's not going to die. If you don't kill Omni here, then Deuce is not going to die. And
what if you just get a Diffusal?
I mean, Diffusal's like okay, but it still doesn't, like, you just Stone Gaze and then you wait for an next repel, or you counter initiate with Axe, or you blink in with Tide and get a Ravage. There's a lot of ways for them to deal with a Diffusal initiate. And Diffusals, we actually see Ohio, Vendetta, and Hasted.
Good position he's in. He's going to get a lot of intel. He's even going to try to open. No, he's just being
That is bold. If he misses on June, I think June kills him.
Yeah. Lots of confidence. Glimpse into the kinetic field and static storm. They will catch Luo. This is probably going to be a kill with the Omni Slash. Nope, mech. There's the Guardian Angel. He's going to still stay alive. There's absolutely no way Luo is not going to be brought down. That's going to be a counter initiation. They get Ohio. Yang currently turned into a statue. Oh boy, that could not have gone any worse.
He was TPing out and then he got caught by the Stone Gaze. If he were looking in another direction, I think he would have been able to TP out. They didn't have anything.
Oh boy, that's just... And a ward trap to top it all off. 4 kills for IG. That mech pickup for Luo just really paid off. A lot of Tides would go for a blink here. They're trusting the axe to find the initiation with the blink dagger, and
he also hesitated on the Omni. He could have omnied him.
Yeah, he might have Omni Slashed earlier.
Yeah, because it bounced to the axe, so it would have been really close. But yeah, not killing Tidehunter before he gets out of Ravage, and an Omni heal coming out on him. Not the best way for a fight to go down. They really wanted that tower because they need to do Roshan. I think EHOME's lineup, like, they should have been able to do Roshan like 8 minutes ago, probably.
Minute 10.
Minute 10?
Yeah, well, they could have.
Mushi's had like a couple of DDs.
Yeah.
If this were C9, they would have done Roshan.
Yeah.
Okay. They would have done it a long time ago.
Almushi just managed to take the tier 1 tower mid during that fight, so it wasn't all that bad, and now they're going to go to Roche. They know Ravage is down, Stone Gaze is down, Mass Serpent wards are down, and Guardian Angel is down. If they paid attention there, they would know all the spells are on cooldown. This is a fight at Roche. I think EHOME is fairly safe to win, as Axe is going to jump and miss the call into Nyx. And want to mention, Dusa went for the Lincolns instead of Scotty. So now Diffusal is pretty much... It's actually completely out of the question unless they want to pop the Lincolns with Omni Slash and then purge off the repel.
That's not that bad. I've seen that done before. But
it's still a really big investment to pop a Lincoln.
Please, you can get double Diffusal.
Oh wait, never mind. That was actually changed, right? So it's just the first slash of Omni Slash. You don't cancel the Omni. It continues.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not a commitment anymore. In the past, Omni Slash just didn't go off.
Yeah.
That was changed. So it's actually a really good counter, as a matter of fact now. So yeah, Omni Slash into Diffusal could be a choice. He's gonna get the Yasha though, so going for the very standard. I want to call this the core pub build, if you will, on Juggernaut. Mask of Madness with Phase Boots, Quelling Blade, then Yasha, either into Manta, Sanjin Yasha, or into a Basher next. What do you think is best?
Manta Diffusal?
Mana Diffusal? I would agree. I think that would be really nice for this particular game because of the Dusa.
Not only that, they can purge off the Hex.
Yep.
From Shadow Shaman, which is...
Defensive usage? We almost never see that.
You see it sometimes.
I can't remember the last competitive game I've seen someone purge Hex
I've seen
on an ally.
Puppy Enchantress. Diffusal.
Get Diffusal? Okay. When was that?
A while ago. A long time ago. It is a niche use for an item.
Yeah.
And it could, it's decent, this game. It's not bad. So TA now rocking the Desolator. Hitting really hard. 0 against GA, but still very hard versus everyone else. And I guess not that much versus the Berserker calling
or
Axe.
the Dusa.
or the Dusa.
So hitting very hard against Shadow Shaman. And arguably the Tide until he uses Anchor Smash. Then
Shadow Shaman doesn't actually have a Blink or a Ghost, so he's still...
He's fairly poor. He's taking care of the main supporting. So what does Omni Knight have to show for himself? He has a Soul Ring and Tranquil. So the two supports on IG actually surprisingly poor, considering that they have taken 2 towers and got that 4-for-0 exchange a moment ago in the bot lane.
Look at Inflame. He might be trying to cancel
Tower
TPs.
Trade. No, he's going to be too late. He was a little bit too far in. And they will be porting 3 heroes bottom. June is still top, though, with the repel on. Did June cancel his TP? I think he was TPing, right?
Yes.
So if they notice that, they can actually take a fight bottom without X being there. There's no way he makes it down there on time if they engage. But it would then essentially be a 4-on-4 against Dusa and Tide under the tier 2. That's kind of scary.
Is Chuan waiting for Inflame?
What's going on? They're just... Okay.
This is a nice stalemate. I like it.
All right. Looks like Chuan is the first to make it. Never mind. He is... Do something! Here comes... Nope. He's moving in and out. Okay, now he goes on the lane. He's like, okay, there is absolutely no way in hell that anyone is here anymore. Now Inflame might try to stab him, but he has a ward. So, okay, he flies out the full Aghanims. Minute 10. Chuan was waiting around for so long to drop the Mass Serpent ward. He will immediately TP out, just putting some pressure.
How did Inflame get so farmed?
I don't know. He has got 4 kills.
Wow. I mean,
and
he has
they got the Roche. Maybe he got the last hit on Roche. Was he there?
I don't know, dude. Omni Knight has nothing.
Ohio gonna open on Ferrari. He's gonna find out that there is a Lincoln's though by mana burning into it, as there is the Guardian Angel being used. They're gonna keep Mushi at bay. Nice call from June, and Mushi will most likely be falling. He has the Aegis. Man, they can't let him die twice. This is a really big deal. But there's no assistance apart from Ohio. I don't know if he can get out. Good impale into TP. Oh, great heal by Omni Knight.
Where's the Carapace, bro?
That's true. Why didn't he Carapace before TP? He might as well, right?
I think he would have lived.
Maybe he had cooldown.
Maybe. Well, at least Mushi will live. He does not have a TP scroll, but he is melded in the trees. And that will actually take him a while to get back home because the chicken's in use.
Do you think IG should push here? They don't have Stone Gaze, they don't have Serpent Wards, they don't have GA.
They still have Ravage.
This is a pretty bold push.
TA doesn't have BKB, so
there is a glyph too.
They can easily kill TA and Ravage, I would say. So it's not
Yeah.
that big of a risk for them.
Yeah, they might be. At least if they push like this, there's pretty much no risk. Medusa just standing alone. They're flanking, or they're protecting from the left with the remaining 4 heroes. And Mushi could try. Oh, he's going to buy a Blink in the side shop. Sells his one to afford it. That could give them the surprise factor they need to engage here as well. They have just...
Oh, he's going to look for... I think he might be able to kill Chuan.
Oh, now he's moving into the right. Currently hiding. Chuan's going to... Oh, my goodness. This... Did they see him? I don't think they did.
Think so. They're not playing like it. Ohio stalking
is bug. He is very dead, I think. The Impale is going to land.
They need a gem.
They could snowball off this for this. Luo is going to run out. And TA is on the hunt. They will port out Chuan.
They were looking for a sneak kill.
Yeah.
They were waiting for someone to push in and then kill them and then drop wards and then force them back and get a lot of farm.
The good news for EHOME with how this is going is that Juggernaut, I think, is actually pretty much on par with the farm we would like to see on him. Maybe a little bit below because he's died the 4 times, but 150 CS in 24 minutes on Jug is okay. He's not the best farmer, especially not with this build-up. If you had a Maelstrom, it goes a lot faster, of course, but he's getting what he needs for now, I would say. So, probably become a factor. Call from June, narrowly going to miss.
Ohio and Mushi, invis and around the back, looking for a kill.
Oh, wow, that hit both?
Double stun comes out, mech from Luo. Mushi gets ravaged and cold by June. Ohio on the retreat. Gets degen and gushed, and everyone is retreating. Yang trying to get a good Omni Slash on someone. Will cast it on Chizbug.
Oh, look at the ward! Look at the stone statue, though.
You killed it.
What was prettiest?
The ward. The ward was pretty nice.
Man, that was a sick death ward. If it wasn't for the Stone Gaze, I think they might have been able to get 3 or even 4 kills there, but Ferrari on the mark.
Man, that was close. GA. Where's the GA at? He does have a point booster now. I mean, I think...
Do you think Axe is the right choice?
It's either Axe or Blink. I think he needs to be... Firstly, they need a gem, so they can't just jump Omni Knight with double invis heroes.
Yeah.
So I think EHOME's going to keep punishing them until that point.
I would agree. Gem would be the best pickup right now.
They need it on, what, Axe? Axe is rich, too. Look at his gold. 2470. I think he needs more armor, though, so he doesn't die in repel.
Yeah.
I guess
He's buying a Force Staff. What's he? Is this to save people from getting caught in kinetic field?
The Force Staff into a blink, or the blink into a Force Staff initiation is actually really sick. You blink call, and if it's like a ranged hero facing you, you just Force Staff them into your team, and they're just turning around like attacking the guy. It's actually really, really good.
That also sounds very hard to pull off.
It's actually not that hard. You just blink, call, and then run back a little bit, and then force. It's surprisingly strong against non-BKB heroes.
Wait, you're saying you force after your call?
Yes, you force after your call because they're facing the way that you
Oh,
want.
I see what you mean. Okay, I thought you meant you blink and then you force staff the ranged hero into you, and then you call him.
Oh, no.
So
You
like
blink,
that
call.
pretty. Okay.
It's
yeah.
pretty nice.
That sounds pretty good. Yeah, I can see that.
It changes the center of the fight.
Yep.
And you definitely want control of the center of the fight because of the Medusa, because of the Tidehunter, like these radius spells.
More than anything, you just want TA out of position, I think.
Yeah.
That's your number one target if you're IG. Mushi is still doing fairly well on farm. Ohio will be...
Oh,
Wow, did he not see any
he
of
did
that?
not.
Oh, man, that's unfortunate. That's probably a dead jug. He's going to try to run away. There's the call. Okay, committing for the kill. He might... Look at the Death Ward again. They have to use Guardian Angel. They're still going to lose Axe. I want to say this is a pretty big disaster for IG, even if they trade. And now Chuan's going to get the repel. The Guardian Angel will be running out. As will... EHOME don't even lose a hero. And they could be getting more. This cast could be really good. Static Storm is pretty awful, let's be honest, but doesn't really matter.
Where's their Medusa?
She is being...
Wow, that would have been so good had he, I think, GA'd a tad bit earlier. I don't think they saw the...
Wow, he's going to live. What a play.
I don't think they saw the Inflame wraparound.
And then he's going to blink. No, he didn't blink.
They have to stop this Death Ward. That Death Ward, even if it ticks for like 2 hits, it's so much damage.
It's like the hidden carry of EHOME right now is the Witch Doctor. I would love to see them get an Assault Cuirass on Juggernaut at some point just to make both the Ward and TA stronger, and Juggernaut himself. That should be pretty decent. Or Medallion, which we've actually seen 2 or 3 Juggernaut games this tournament where Juggernaut gets Medallion first item.
It's alright.
Do you think it's overkill? Too much minus armor? Or?
It depends. It messes with the opponent's timing of when you think they can Roche, because it's a lot faster than normal. And still, they do not have a gem. And Ohio will keep on scouting them out.
Ferrari's going to be annoyed with that. He's standing there farming the Centaur. Uh-oh. Ohio's going to open by June. This is a death. Easy kill. And probably the end of it as Juggernaut will be getting an Omni Slash off. They're going to glimpse in the Omni Knight, but Jugger is the one out of position. There's a Death Ward again. They have no counter for it. Luo basically running in circles and keeps bouncing the cast to Ferrari. They have still not stopped the Death Ward. He's going to lose his entire mana shield. He's standing alone. The only survivor right now is Inflame will die to that Mystic Snake, but that's going to be a 5-for-2.
Wow.
Death Ward MVP once again.
Why did Ferrari not Stone Gaze earlier? He was just like staring at it. It's like, okay, whatever, I'm going to tank it. But his whole team's going to die because it bounces off of him. If he had Stone Gaze earlier, that fight would have been a lot different. Oh my goodness. Well, it will be a terrible fight for IG. What in the world?
Conclusion. Yeah.
That was a defusal on the Juggernaut too.
Yeah.
So a nice way to initiate the fight.
Very, very good.
And that is a no buyback
That's
on
only
the
a
Medusa.
Rax.
Yeah, that's
Probably.
definitely Elena Rex.
They could buy back Axe and Tide, who are out in 10, but that doesn't really help anything without the Dusa there and without their ultimate.
Man, that botched fight on top too. This is what set them up for everything because they didn't have GA up for that fight.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't try to go for the melee Rex, but I guess it's a good play to stay safe here with... They have a dead Witch Doctor and a Nyx top, so they were actually 3 people doing the push, and they realized they can do the Roche instead. They have a trap in there, so they will see his respawn. The pings are coming out from Omni Knight, but I don't know if IG even want to go there. This is a very risky play from them, going in 4-on-5 into Roche without their Dusa, but...
This is a Witch Doctor
they
with a
intimidate
blink.
them.
I'm surprised he didn't get BKB, but I mean, Blink's just good. He's been getting his ults off so many times.
What does the BKB really do, though? It blocks the Ravage.
Blocks Ravage, which is
But
huge.
that hasn't been a problem yet, has it?
It should
He's
be,
really
though.
far away all the time. BKB. Picked up
Do they have
by
a gem? No, they do not. They have mere Sentry Awards. I'm still so surprised that they haven't gotten a gem yet. It's 30 minutes in versus
I think
Nyx.
we haven't really seen that many gem pickups in general so far in the tournament compared to what we used to see a couple of months back. It was very standard. Maybe the teams just forgot how important it is and how good it is, but that sounds kind of surprising. That's
I mean, there's
fairly
wars
common
right
knowledge.
there. Now they can just sneak Roche because they have full vision with the TA ward and the Observer ward.
yeah, this Roche is gone.
The gem not having a gem is hurting them
Okay.
so much right now.
I'm surprised they want to fight instead of taking Roche, but if they can catch Luo off guard, that would be really good. He's going to blink to the left, but oh my goodness, did he just get away with that? No, he didn't. DDC's going to find him. He can He could glimpse, but then again, they could also just take Roche. That was weird.
So now they take another.
Oh, he gave it to Juggernaut.
Jug? Yeah.
He is getting strong, though. He has the Diffusal Manta we were hoping for.
I feel like
building
he-
into, I think, a Scotty.
I feel like he's not going to die in the fights, though. Oh, actually, TA has a BKB now.
Yeah. I don't really know how useful that BKB is. I mean, it blocks the Ravage, but not having the Aegis on Mushi means that if he gets caught out of position by a call, he's pretty much almost guaranteed dead still. And that's somewhat of a problem. If he has the Aegis, and he will be the main pusher generally.
To be honest, though, it doesn't really matter if Mushi dies, just because the Death Ward. Like, if
That's
they
true.
go on Mushi, they just cast Death Ward, and then like there's at least a few seconds of ownage there.
Oh, Ohio wanted to go, but no backup available. And this melee Rax is going to fall, I think. If IG try to fight for it, do you think they should fight for this Rax or just give it and try to hold until Aegis expires for the side lanes? They have 2 tier 2s left.
I think they hold here, just because if they had another farmed hero other than Medusa, I think they'd be okay, but they don't. And
They
it's just
are
Medusa.
30 gold away from Butterfly, by the way. No MKBs on EHOME, on either of the cores. Also no Hex, so it's a guaranteed evasion. But I honestly don't think the problem EHOME is going to be facing yet is going to be the Medusa. I think they can pretty much ignore her for now and just go for the other heroes and then take her last.
Once you get the Butterfly, I think she'll do a lot more damage, though, and they can't really ignore her that much. Actually, she's still...
Do you think it's enough, though? Refraction doesn't care how much damage you do.
Yeah.
Juggernaut has Omni Slash, so he also doesn't care.
I mean,
And
they
she's a spread damage carry and you have Healing Ward. I don't know. Oh, let's get the denied it. Mushi will be pushing out.
I mean, theoretically, these fights should be going like, okay, Omni Knight repels Ferrari, Ferrari's up in front, and they don't allow them to approach. Like, sure, they have refraction and stuff like that and healing ward, but they still have the problem of, like, engaging on the Medusa, unless Juggernaut engages with Omni into a Diffusal, which is definitely possible. But then again, like, a well-played Omni Knight will just counter that with a GA, and then your Diffusal's down, and then all your burst is down, and your Juggernaut's out of position. And then, you know, your Death Ward doesn't do any damage. So...
What do you think about the play of getting a blink? Does Disruptor have a blink? He doesn't, right? What do you think about him getting a blink and just blink, silencing the Omni and getting him in a field and dying for it? Do you think that's worth it?
That's definitely worth it. If they can get the initiation with the Omni into a Diffusal.
Yeah. Because I think that's definitely possible. Omni Knight is a fairly immobile hero. They do have the Force Staff on Axe, though, so if he reacts fast, he can get him out of the field and then could turn
See,
into
they're
a
all walking
disaster.
over this trap. Like, these wards are just
And
insane.
Nyx again. Oh, they're going to get the call.
Oh, GA comes out. Chuan will end up living. June will get the Cole on Disruptor. There is a Gem of True Sight drop. Mushi will pop his BKB and run away, getting slowed by Degen. June will hit a call. Chuan with the shackles and a heal. And, June.
How's Mushi still? Okay.
Yeah, he's tanks.
Force Staff dunks look so cool when you force through the target. So like force through and then he turns 180 and just puts his... Is that even an axe he has? I feel like some of those axe weapons are just...
So they didn't buy a gem, but they got one by DDC. They got one from DDC. And
Maybe that was the plan all along.
well, DDC, they ran right by this trap. Like 4 heroes ran by this trap, and he still gets caught out here. That is a little sloppy by them, especially when they're carrying the gem. And the gem is that important against their team.
And especially when TA also gets caught. That was pretty much... That was just unnecessary for EHOME. They do give a lot of gold over to IG. The gem is an 1,800 gold swing in itself.
That's really bad.
There's the Butterfly for Dusa, who now leads the game even more.
This also means they can't put pressure with the Aegis. Like, the implications for that is really big. Ohio...
To be honest with you, though, I don't think IG win this game without a Rapier. I think it's absolutely necessary to have enough damage.
Really?
Like
I think a well-played Omni Knight will beat this out.
both Juggernaut and TA hit really hard. You're right. It's all about Guardian Angel, but it's
It's all
putting a lot
about-
of pressure on your Omni Knight. If he gets caught out and Dusa does not have a Rapier,
Well,
I think it's
that's,
just
that's what a Scepter
it's
is.
probably
for.
just game. Yeah. Oh, he's
Yeah.
still pretty far away.
2,000. Yeah, it's...
They should let him farm, actually.
I think it's far more important that he gets his Scepter than, like, Tideless, so he gets Refresher. He's getting a
getting
Yule.
Yule.
I don't know why Yules. It's...
For
Oh.
I think it's for the Witch
It
Doctor.
is for the Witch Doctor. But he can just get BKB, right?
Yeah.
He's pretty rich.
Might be his next item as Dusa. Do you think they want to try for this? It looks like they might. They have a feeling he's long. Ah, Ferrari saw him in the side lane. Or in the side.
Just those two, I don't think can take...
I don't know. The thing is, what do you... Now, the Lincolns is going to make it too hard. You can cask into the Lincolns, and then Nyx can get Vendetta, Mana Burn, and Impale, and another Mana Burn.
You can just Yules him.
Oh, they also have a Yules, which, well... I actually think that almost favors.
Oh, Chuan gonna walk into DDC right here. He gets hexed up. June will blink into a call, and then Cole the sheep. Nope, no sheep Cole.
He didn't even call at all.
He didn't even call. He can't.
Omni Knight got the kill, which I think is actually better for them. So
Yeah. Keep kill stealing. Omni
you
Knight,
go
need-
CH.
You need it. So now Inflame will be the one walking into the wards now that they finally have a gem on their side.
These couple of pickoffs on DDC they're finding are really important.
Well-
And again, I think that was another one he could have probably foreseen when they tried to go for the Deuce, she pulls back, and then the entire Radiant team is off the map. I don't think that was such an unlikely play that IG would go in there. They do get some split push for it though, but lose their tier 2, so easily another win for IG. Porting Dusa to the bottom lane, more farm.
She does port inside of a trap though, so she has
This
to.
is.
They have to be careful. They can't. Oh my goodness! Ohio almost catches out Chuan.
I think Tron didn't see him though. He ported out before he got envisioned. There's the Death Ward. June and Chizbug both gonna get hit by it. There's the Yules. I think this is gonna be a kill on at least the Omni Knight. As never mind, Tide shows up to the party. They could just repel TP out. And Omni Slash.
It's a big kill.
He has buyback.
Yeah, but that really severely hinders his scepter progression, which he really needs. But at the end of the day, they do save the gem. I mean, so they saw the trap, and then he TP'd out under the guys that are trapped, and still people stay around. Like Chuan TP'd out, and then the rest of the team is like, we're just gonna farm over their jungle, even though they know that Dusa and that Dusa isn't here at all. And without Dusa, they really don't have that much damage. A little from Max.
Yeah, what do you think he gets?
Heart?
Heart? You think that's the best?
Ghost? Ghost is good too. I think he needs mitigation or HP.
There's the Ghost. It's kind of a counterintuitive item on Axe because you want to call the enemies to make them hit you and you spin, and then if you Ghost, you don't spin because they don't attack you. But they're still taunted, so you just hold them in place. It's basically, then your call is a stun.
Or just use it during Omni Slash.
Or you use it during Omni Slash, or you blink call, and then when call expires, you Ghost Scepter afterwards, so you get the spins off, depending on whether you can get away with that, because you could, of course, get caught by some
Ohio
sort of
gonna run
stun.
into June.
Oh, there's the gem! Force call!
Man fight
this is
going on.
narrowly gonna escape here, I think. Maybe. Never mind. Luo, gonna blink across.
So, again, just having the gem just repels a lot of Ohio's advances, and he can't get any easy picks on the supports anymore, or he shouldn't be able to, rather. And the trap vision getting worse and worse for them, and looks like they will be maybe homing in for a kill on Yang over here. Ferrari going to walk right into him. It's a little awkward. And
What do you think about the BKB on him, by the way? I think it's a nice choice. Something we often see Deuces not get because they feel like they can tank up enough, but against the mana burn, I just think this is such a good choice because he will get
Mushi's
hurt.
so far behind, he doesn't actually have a TP scroll. They're going to be able to take out at least a T3 before he gets here, probably even the melee racks. Ferrari in a very well-fortified position right next to the wards with a constant repel on him. Yang going in, pops the Lincoln Sphere.
He's going to just Omni Slash into him to try and hold the racks. This Omni Slash is going to do next to nothing. As at the same time, Tide finds finds Nyx on the side. They're going to deny the range racks. This was a disaster for EHOME. There's the Yules. Uh-oh. Good storm. Not the best of Ravages here from Luo, as he is going to be tanking the tier 4. So there's the Guardian Angel, though. They've got the racks. They could be just pull out now. They're going to continue pursuing. This Deuce hasn't even been touched yet.
They still have a Death Ward up. Don't underestimate
good
that
glimpse.
Death Ward. Oh, there's the Diffusal onto the Omni Knight. Yang gets hexed up. Ferrari walks into the middle, but still the Death Ward keeps getting channeled. He gets Yulesed up. Ferrari trying to run away with BKB, but Yang and Mushi hot in pursuit. Chuan will get Diffusal and end up dying. Looks like Yang about to take a spill, but he gets cast and he will die. A bloodbath in the end. He has his gem and he is also going to perish at the end of the day. So that did cost them... Oh, man. That's
That
bad.
was such a weird fight.
That was a very strange fight.
That
No buybacks used.
TA across the map with no TP was like a flashback to some Navi games in the past, I want to say. And really, it ends up costing them a lane of racks. At the end of the day, though,
Solo Omni on the Dusa with the Manta.
I think this was worth it for EHOME.
Oh, of course it was.
They lost
I
a lane
think
of
so.
racks. They got a team wipe, though.
It shouldn't have been.
4,000 gold
I don't
and a
think,
Roche.
I don't think it should have been
That's-
that bad of a fight for them, though.
No.
Like, they blew Omni Slash, so your logical progression next for GA is to wait for the Death Ward coming out or wait for TA burst. But TA, you can deal with her with Stone Gaze too. So they have Stone Gaze to deal with one, GA to deal with another, and they didn't deal with either of them.
Yeah. This is huge. At this point in the game, 40 minutes in, the lane of barracks is not what really matters. It's the Roshan with the cheese and ages. It's getting the team wipe to get more ahead in golden experience. And that gold swing, I think it was a 4 or 5k swing for the Dire. Looks a little weird on the graph. Did they buy back anyone on that?
No,
or
no one bought
the
back.
teamfight recap said 4,000 gold gained for, 4,000 gained for EHOME and 2,000 lost for IG or something like that.
They were really close to killing the Jug.
But
I think if they killed the Jug early on in the fight, it would have been a lot better for Dusa. I think Dusa
What
can
does
maybe
he
run
get
away.
next after BOTs? I think MKB is a good choice now. They just need more to lay into the Dusa.
You can get an Abyssal too. Keep her
Abyssal is good
bashed.
too. It's another solution to the Omni Knight.
They can also own her.
Oh,
Linkers.
there it is. This is one of the most impactful Witch Doctors. Easily the most impactful Witch Doctor in the tournament so far. But that we might have seen in ever.
He's been carrying them in
Dota 2. It's really...
His hero damage has to be, I would probably say, higher than anyone else inside this game.
Wouldn't really surprise me, actually.
Well, EHOME recovers the
Pretty
gem.
incredible.
And IG, are they going to pick up another one? Alas. They do not. But Omni Knight is 200 gold away from a Ag Scepter.
Do you think that is going to make the biggest difference? I feel like his Guardian Angels have generally hit everyone anyway, or at least everyone it needed to hit.
Now he can just stand back and wait for Witch Doctor, because they can't stop Witch Doctor aside from Stone Gaze.
I feel like so far he could have just stood somewhat back and waited for Witch Doctor. He didn't really get focused out in the last 3 team fights, I think.
I mean, TA has a blink. He gets caught by the Static Storm a lot too, because Disruptor's been casting it on him and looking for him. Nyx also has a blink dagger, and he can also get Yules. Like if he gets Yules during the Death Ward, that's almost good game team fight right there.
Yeah,
There's too
that's
much
true.
damage to take.
And then he can stand far back. That's obviously going to make it a little harder for the repels to actively come out, but then they can have Dusa move for him
Yes.
instead of vice versa. That might be the way of doing it. Top lane, Yang ports up. He's going to be split pushing a bit here as EHOME are looking to push out all 3 lanes at once. But there's the smoke.
Juggernaut is actually really tanky too.
If history repeats itself, the Disruptor gets caught now. And he is very far back though, so I don't think so. And if they get anyone caught, that's probably the preference, so it could get a lot worse.
They want
Mushi.
Nyx to get caught.
Oh man, if they get Mushi, they could kill him twice. Never mind, he doesn't have the Aegis, does he? No. Who
No,
did they
he
give the Aegis to?
They
Nyx?
give to Ohio.
Ohio. Next. There's the Ravage. They will get Ohio one time. There's the Static Storm coming out onto Chuan. Chuan's going to get nothing off. He will be dying in the storm. This is the really good Death Ward once again. Will get stopped by Stone Gaze here as they proceed with Ferrari in the middle of the fight. There's a Juggernaut finally getting the healing ward off. We'll be running off and just buying some time here as Luo will get one shot by Mushi. Ohio on the high ground. This is going to be a really bad fight, I feel, for IG as Chizbug will be dying too. June with the Blade Mail. A nice impale from Ohio. They're going to just clean up. Ferrari, he's trying to run. There's no way in hell he's getting out of this one. 5 for 1 plus the Aegis. Did they cheese?
Yeah, they cheesed. They cheesed on Jug. Wow, that was actually really nice item spread from EHOME too, giving the Aegis to the Nyx.
Do you think IG needed to smoke aggressively? Wouldn't it be preferable to fight in your base? You're against Aegis Cheese with a Medusa on defense.
Their late game's worse at this point. Usually you don't think of Omni and Dusa having worse late game, but at this point it is, just because TA and Jug are both almost 6-slotted at this point.
The buyback from Ferrari. He's the only one living. Now Chuan's alive too. This buyback I feel like is pretty useless. He's going to throw out Mystic Snake, and if he dies now, it's pretty much game over. Ferrari's going to get jumped. We'll get the Mana Burn. He's going to Manta as well. Beautiful Static Storm. That's got to be the end of the game. That's really not worth it. Chuan's just going to instantly call the GG. They could have maybe tried to hold after losing a side of Rax, but going greedy, that's just not going to work.
Well, that was a little sloppy from IG. Omni Knight got caught out a lot. They didn't have a gem. They didn't control Roshan. And man, that one push in mid, I think, definitely cost them the game. And letting Witch Doctor get off all these ultimates.
Nice
to be
Ferrari.
fair, Inflame played amazingly. Like, all the Witch Doctors, I'm like, oh my goodness, what is his positioning?
He is a really good player. LD's been hyping him up a lot going into the event. He's really been delivering in every game, I would say.
That's a carry Witch Doctor right there.
Ferrari 430 with 420 last hits. Blaze it.
Do we have a console?
Got to blaze it after that loss.
Do we have a console for hero damage?
That'd
Dude,
be
Witch
really
Doctor.
interesting.
Witch Doctor owned.
He
Juggernaut
was
also
so good.
Juggernaut also had a really nice recovery. He had a terrible time on top, and then they created so much space for him. He got really, really big. They were able to do multiple Roshans. EHOME really needed a Rosh. I think if they had a Rosh, an Aegis for Dusa, they could have taken a lane of Rex much earlier without actually dying and getting team wiped.
Yeah, this was a game that could have definitely gone either way. I think the most important thing to take away from it, though, compared to the top teams right now of the group stage, EG and Secret, these teams just make more mistakes.
A lot more.
There's a lot more mistakes from both teams. Sure, EHOME win it, and the Witch Doctor played amazingly. I think he played pretty much as well as he could.
Ohio
the
played
got
really
caught
well
out
too.
quite a lot. Yeah, Ohio, great performance.
He played
from
well
him as
because
well.
they didn't have a gem, though.
I
so.
think Ohio's at his best when he is not behind on farm. If he plays heroes that don't necessarily need a lot of farm or just gets off to a decent start in lane like he did, he's really good at using a few items. Just the Blink Dagger and the Yules is all he had on the Nyx this game, and he made it look like he had like 4 items with how he played. So
EHOME was really good
Very
about
nice
pressuring the Tidehunter. The Tidehunter had minimal impact just because he got dominated in lanes so darn hard. Usually it's like, okay, whatever, we're just going to let him farm his Arcane and Blink, and then we'll just deal with the Ravages. But they dealt with the Tidehunter much earlier than you would normally. Like, normally you just deal with it with BKBs, but they just controlled him in lane, and he became a non-factor. And this way they could just kind of ignore him and then focus on the Omni Knight most of the time.
Well,
Well,
you guys watch it? I
wraps
think
up.
you watched the game too, Bruno.
Yes, I was
Do
watching
you
the
have
game.
anything to add on that?
I was actually very surprised that IG didn't pick an earlier gem because until DDC loses the gem, EHOME's entire plan was let's roam around with Nyx, find some pickups, find some kills. The other thing that made me very happy, and I think it was one of the turnaround points of the game, I was looking at Mushi and I was like, this is a Blink Dagger game. And I was asking people, it's like, is he going Blink Dagger first? Like, no, they're going Yasha. Probably not going to go Blink Dagger. Then he goes to the secret shop and gets that. And suddenly that made everything so much easier because it's all about the positioning. It's all about just being able to complement himself with the Nyx. Okay, Nyx finds the kill, gets the stun, blink, meld, suddenly immediate kill. That also helped the Witch Doctor get going. And once the Axe came in, even though they had a direct answer in the Guardian Angel, it just made things so hard to execute because yes, you can trade one by one the ultimate from ultimate, but at the same time you don't want to get without a Guardian Angel for the remaining fight. IG made a couple mistakes. I think a couple like 5. No, they actually they played well, but they didn't take advantage of the moments they had.
I know. Which team do you think made the most mistakes, actually? I'm not sure. I think EHOME also made a lot of mistakes, but theirs were just less important. I think the mistakes they made, they got caught out and lost like 1 or 2 heroes. The mistakes IG made were going into team fights that they lost 5-1 or 4-1 and then lost a Roche. And, those are the big mistakes that cost the game.
Yeah,
so.
the thing is, EHOME, if you look at their lineup, the moment they were stronger, that's when they did the least mistakes. They made a lot of mistakes at the beginning and during the moments where IG was slightly stronger. But once EHOME got into this sweet moment where the Juggernaut is really strong, you have the Aghanims on the Witch Doctor, you have the Nyx Assassin, which is roaming around and doing his thing. That's when EHOME was a little bit more consistent. While at the same time, that's when IG, if they had made less mistakes, they would have waited 10 more minutes. Suddenly Medusa is unkillable, and it's a much easier game. In any case, we were right.
Yep.
We call EHOME.
My
So
boy Bruno.
The Leakins pickup actually didn't do that much because of the Omni
not
Slash.
really.
I think he could have actually done away with it and maybe just get straight BKB instead, or like Manta Butterfly crit or something. But it actually seemed
would
pretty
you have
dead.
exchanged any of the other items than the Lincolns? Do you think the BKB was valuable enough? I thought it was a nice pickup, but I think he needed it, but he still didn't have enough damage. So maybe would it have been better to go for the really greedy path? No Lincolns, no BKB, just Scotty, Butterfly, and then damage item. Maybe without even Manta. Was Manta good?
I think you just do Butterfly, or you just do Manta, Butterfly. Manta tanks Omni, so I think in that itself is
Ideally, Guardian Angel does that too. But you obviously wanted to use that for the Witch Doctor ward.
So I think BKB, Manta, Butterfly, and crit. Maybe actually I don't know. Crit is not that great either. I don't know.
He didn't need MKB. There were no butterflies in the game.
I think they just had to make use of her farm earlier, just because of the way that EHOME was playing. They were getting so much farm under 2 heroes, whereas it's just Medusa getting farm. They control her so well with Nyx and Omni Slash and TA single target damage. They didn't really have to worry about anyone else.
I think Nyx has a really good win rate against Medusa. I want to say that. I feel like every time we see a Medusa pick and Nyx is the counter pick, I can't remember seeing Nyx's team lose. I wonder if we have a stat on that, Brian, if we can look that up.
He is checking right now. Yeah.
That's why I don't like Medusa third pick, just because there's so many heroes that do well versus her. Anti-Mage and, Juggernaut apparently does really well too.
She kind of falls into that Broodmother category, where as much as possible you want to pick it right before a ban phase. So you can pick it and then
ban the counters.
and ban out counters that are going to fit into the enemy lineup.
Or
especially
just fifth pick it.
fifth pick or fourth pick when you can see the enemy team only has like one of the counters as a logical pick. Like if they already have two carries, they're not going to pick Anti-Mage fifth. Then you ban out the Nyx, or they also couldn't pick OD.
So overall, it's 54% win rate versus Medusa. And what's Medusa?
Okay.
What's Medusa's overall win rate? 53. So it drops Medusa's win rate by 5% by peaking, which is a considerable amount.
And Nyx versus Medusa is 64% this
50
patch.
64%.
I don't know how big the sample size is, if that's relevant. 14 games.
That's actually
So that means Nyx wins 8-6 or 9 to 5.
9-5. That is pretty good.
That's actually that's without this game. So now Nyx
So
is 10 and 5 against Dusa. That's around what I was
67%.
expecting. I actually thought he would have higher win rate than that, but 67% is still a really good counter pick. I would
Definitely,
say,
yeah. So we're gonna go to a break, guys, and EHOME is also going to go to a break after these back-to-back games. When we come back, we will have a little bit more discussion of standings, schedule, and everything. But the next game is going to be a good one.
Unlike this one, or what do you mean?
Well, hopefully
I
less.
feel like this was a really good game.
It was a really good game. I
Mistakes,
think
but good.
it's no, but I think mistakes help make games fun.
Mistakes
Yes.
make good
It's
games.
like, I mean, I come from Argentina, soccer, you know, like you joke about soccer, Americans, that it's a very boring game compared to anything else. It's like the perfect game of soccer, they say it's a 0-0 because no
Yeah.
one makes mistakes, you don't score goals. I think the perfect game of Dota is one where no one makes mistakes and it's a 5 kills total 70 minutes into the game until
In the
one
perfect
team
game,
fight and then you
in
win.
the perfect game of Dota, no one loses.
Yeah. I guess it's a draw, like the
Yeah.
WCA, was it? WC?
I cast the game. I was so disappointed. I think we got to 110 minutes or 100 minutes, and the game they couldn't reconnect, and then the game just dropped.
It's a
in.
draw.
They called it a draw.
Unbelievable.
'Cause
Anyways,
we
we're
were
going
joking about making it a draw because that game wasn't gonna end, and then
we're going into a break. When we come back, we have EG versus Navi. Are you gonna stay here?
We'll see.
I stay at least. I'm casting that with
He
Suns
stays.
fan.
You're taking a break. You're casting